The official version of Boruto TBV VORTEX Chapter 14 released today, and we have a bit to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. So let's not spend too much time on intros. This chapter was more dialogue heavy, similar to Chapter 5, but this time we have a lot of characters that we haven't seen in a while make an appearance. Characters like Sakura, Ibiki, Kankuro, and more. So like always, if you support me and genuinely like content like this, then I would appreciate it a lot if you would just take a second out of your day and hit that like button. I'm pretty sure you're a busy person and this may be asking for a lot, but it really helps me in the YouTube algorithm and it also helps grow this channel. Again, you don't have to, but I'm thankful to everyone that does. But now that that's out of the way, let's hop into the video. After reading chapter 14 and getting opinions from the community, I could say it was a very controversial chapter. Many people view it as a throwaway chapter, mostly because it was very dialogue heavy. And for the most part, during Boruto's interrogation, he was more or less repeating the same information that we already knew, but in a slightly different way. And it's just because even though we already know this information from Boruto himself and Kashin Koji, the people of Konoha still lack this information. Guys like Konohamaru, who's acting as the Hokage's right-hand man, and the village elders, that apparently nobody seems to like nor enjoy seeing. And I completely understand. I mean, to be as blunt as possible, they just outlived their time in the series. They made themselves unlikable as early as the Pain arc in Shippuden, as well as like cooperating with Danzo, also being one of the most hated characters. So I understand where the dislike for these characters stem from, and to be honest, they don't help the situation at all, nor do they change anything. They may talk tough, threatening to kill Boruto and everything, but in reality, they're more powerless than you think. And during this interrogation, you'll see exactly what I mean. So the interrogation mainly starts with Boruto and Konohamaru talking about what happened after he passed out. The Shinju retreated, and Sarada as well as Himawari and the members of Team 10 is safe for now. And to give us a glimpse of what's happening with Team 10 after the incident, we see Sakura giving Inojin immediate healing care. But basically most of the damage was already healed by Himawari in her Nine Tails chakra. The fact that Himawari is capable of healing her comrades, and to this extent so early on into her connection with Kurama, is absolutely incredible. Judging how Naruto wasn't able to even think about doing something like this until he awakened to his KCM form. His chakra always automatically healed himself, but as far as healing others, Himawari is more advanced in that regard, which could do wonders in her becoming one of the strongest kunoichi that Konoha has ever seen. Naruto definitely made it easier for her though. I won't just praise Himawari for doing something that was only possible because of Naruto. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will just find that disingenuous. Naruto changing Kurama's heart and his feelings towards humans definitely made it possible for Himawari to even sync with Kurama as easy as she did. And ever since chapter 10, Himawari definitely became one of my favorite characters, just because I'm interested in seeing how far her character can go in terms of her connection with Kurama. She was hyped up to have better chakra compatibility than Naruto and the rest of her predecessors. So I want to see what Ikimoto got in store for her. So back to the interrogation, we get to see Ada and Damon again, Ada watching the interrogation with her Senragon, while Damon and Kawaki have a chat. I mean, it was nothing but Damon stating the same thing as he did in chapter 6. Well, more so teasing him about people finding out about his lie that he's still sitting on. Basically framing Boruto for the quote-unquote murder of Naruto and sending him into a life of a rogue ninja. And it's not like this bothers Kawaki, because he knows that even if Konoha finds out that he has Naruto in his possession, they still have no way of getting to him, because nobody possesses his Kokugan or can gain access to the Daikokuta dimension. But lucky for Kawaki, he has a ride or die brother. Through all the assassination attempts and disrespect he's shown Boruto just for being an Otsutsuki, something that was originally out of his control, Boruto still shows Kawaki compassion and refuses to expose him for all the lies he told, all just to protect his place in Konoha. It shows Boruto fully accepted his role of being scapegoated, which means he probably doesn't care too much to try to get back good with the higher ups of Konoha, or the rest of the world in fact. We gotta remember, omnipotence didn't just affect Konoha, it affected the whole world, especially those who already knew both Boruto and Kawaki. Of course, his long-term goal is to restore the Uzumaki family, but judging from Boruto's actions so far, there could be a world where the Uzumaki family is together again, but Boruto had to be sacrificed to make it happen. Probably not sacrificed in a literal term, but sacrificed to a point where he would have to live a rogue life for the rest of his days because of his name and what's associated with it. Truly becoming the Shadow Hokage like he always wanted, but definitely not how he envisioned. But to get to that point, the first step is ridding the world of the Shinju. And for that, Boruto knows he will need Konoha's aid in this fight. So he does the smart thing to do and supplies them with all the necessary information they need on the Shinju and their motives. Even going as far as to explain why everyone is turning into trees and warning Konohamaru that one of the Shinju's target is him. A lot of this information I'm showing was already known by us in past chapters, but one thing I noticed that this chapter did was take that knowledge that we already knew and just add more info to it. Especially Amado, who deduced that since the Shinju have gained intelligence, they're more so looking for information and knowledge now. And through devouring their targets, they will gain this information they're searching for. One new piece of information that we got is on the leader of the Shinju, Jura, who Boruto states isn't a prototype of anyone like Sasuke or Moegi. He's the one and only incarnation of the Ten Tails. I mean, of course I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that we didn't already know this, but now it's as clear as it ever was. Just in case anyone was still theorizing that Jura could be something else, the truth is right here in front of us. And besides him being the leader of the Shinju, it was stated that he's in a class of his own. And just like that, we have another statement that puts Jura near the top of the verse going off raw power alone. Another statement, but no crazy feats to back it up. You can probably say this is the reason why Boruto needs the assistance of Konoha. He knows how strong Jura is, and he knows this is probably something he can't handle alone. Therefore, he needs all the help he can get in this situation. It is useful to know if Jura is defeated, then the threat of the planet dying will subside. But that's only if they're able to defeat him before the Shinju's evolution into a divine tree, and eventually suck the life out of the planet. Of course, I knew Boruto would expose most of this information because this is nothing to keep secret, as it is vital information, especially the info on Jura's defeat. It was most likely foresaw by Kashi and Koji and eventually passed on to Boruto. But even though Boruto is basically telling Konoha all the information they need to know, the trust they have in Boruto is still very low, and they need to know where he's getting this information from. But I already knew, Boruto would not disclose the information to anyone to protect Koji's identity. The only person who probably already knows who it is Kawaki. He knows Koji is involved with this somehow, just because of the toad he found in Boruto's cape. So even though Boruto is giving Konoha vital information that increases the odds of their survival, there is still some information that he refuses to disclose to protect people. Like I stated earlier in the video, Boruto protecting Kawaki from being exposed by not telling the elders the location of Naruto and Hinata, which obviously angered them and caused them to try more physical ways of making Boruto talk. Old-fashioned pain. I'm not gonna lie, this little exchange between Boruto and Ibiki was funny because you can literally tell Boruto was the one who was making Ibiki mad, just from his slick talking alone. But he was low-key giving Boruto those haymakers, I ain't gonna lie. But in the end, they should have already knew from the jump that the old-fashioned way of interrogation wasn't going to work on Boruto. So at that point, you're just wasting your time and energy. Now, Shikamaru steps in and tells them to bring in Mitsuki to use poison on him. Something that would just seem like another plan to get Boruto to talk to the ordinary person. But thinking deeper than that, we know Shikamaru is supporting Boruto on the down low. So this was just used as a way to mask Shikamaru's real plan to give Boruto an opening to make his escape. Him letting Mitsuki in and sneaking him the code to free Boruto of his chakra restricted handcuffs. This ended up being the perfect plan because nobody suspected Mitsuki to have the code to free Boruto. The only ones who should have the code is Ibiki, Konohamaru, and Shikamaru. And as far as they know, Mitsuki should be extremely hostile towards Boruto. So Mitsuki helping him escape should be damn near out of the question. They have no knowledge of what occurred after their battle, So this is the best case scenario because instead of anyone getting blamed for Boruto's escape, Konohamaru just assumed the handcuffs might just be faulty or something. So now everything is about to get interesting. Boruto is about to link back up with Kashinkoji and plan their next strategy based on future knowledge, and Konoha has to prepare for future attacks from the Shinju. And they could take this opportunity to do something unpredictable, like strengthen one of their most valuable combatants in Kawaki to raise Konoha's probability of success, as well as try to include strong fighters like Damon and Mitsuki for the next assault. Because judging from the end of the chapter where the new Shinju got revealed, this is probably the only part of the chapter where we actually learn something completely new. I actually don't know how new this piece of info was, because honestly, I'm pretty sure we all knew this new Shinju was Shinki, just based off the facial features alone. Kankuro said Gaara and Shinki was attacked by one of the Shinju, most likely it was Matsuri who pulled up and defeated them, judging by how last chapter ended. But even though both of them were attacked, it was stated that Shinki was the only one who was turned into a tree, which probably means Gaara was trying to protect him, but obviously was defeated trying to do so. So it looks like the situation has expanded to other villages, starting from Konoha and now to Tsunagakure, which is always good for the story, including other villages, showing that the Shinju isn't just affecting Konoha, but the whole shinobi world. And things will only get worse if not treated with the utmost urgency. Now that the Shinju is officially being treated as a national emergency, do you think we can expect more shinobi from other villages to be turned into trees? And if you think so, then who do you think could be the next victim? That's my only question for you guys for this chapter. So as always, if you like this brief chapter review and want me to continue doing these, then show me your support by liking the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications as well. Oh yeah, I do stream the spoilers and react to them live, so if you're interested in watching that, then yeah, definitely turn on those post notifications. We capped off at 400 live viewers for chapter 14, so thank you for everyone who came out to the stream. You know who you are. Matter of fact, if you was in the stream, just comment that you was in the stream down below and I'll probably heart it or something. And rate chapter 14 1 out of 10. Just be completely unbiased from your personal standpoint. What did you think about the chapter? Rate it 1 through 10. But anyway, until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later. And I'm out. Peace.